Anyway, welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual program. Target Individual Experience. Another form of subliminal. Look at that. They got clothes hanging on the gate over there. Tell you, when the perps, when they do shit like this, right? Never in all my years of being on this block I've ever seen anything like that. And like I said, this is what they'll do. The use of what? Clothes. Again, the word clothes, right? What does that sound like? Right? What does that sound like? Clothes. Talk about, when we TIs talk about, they talk about having a file on us. And then look at the New York Predator Department. And what lights are they flashing? They're red lights. Look. The red lights. All right, you see, there you go. I just want to show you guys again. And then what do? They're staying, they're not driving by because, again, they understand that I don't have the zoom capabilities on this phone to zoom in, which is fine. Which is fine. It just shows you who the cowards are. It shows you who the cowards are, right? Who is the cowards? Who are the cowards? All right, who's running? Who is running? Right? Who's telling the truth and who's lying? Who's deceiving? Who's manipulating? Because, we STIs, we don't got that power like that. I mean, yeah, we can lie. Right? But we can't manipulate. We can't deceive like they do. Oh, wait. What's going on here? Look. Look. All right, now they got the blue lights on. Okay, see that? Now they got their blue lights on. Look, he come back to his vehicle as soon as I cross the street. Oh, he's getting a... Oh, where is he going? Isn't that... I thought he was going back to his vehicle, but apparently he was standing in front of his vehicle and he stepped out slightly into the street so I could see. Oh yeah, bunch of cowards. Bunch of cowards, look. They're pulling out all the attacks, I should say, right? Right, all the attacks. Helicopter, look at that. Right, you hear that? So they're using my sister again to target me, and that's why, my sister was getting dressed for church. She had gone for about an hour, right? Because I had to make breakfast. Actually, she left after I started making breakfast. So actually, before I started making breakfast, she was gone for like an hour. And as I was getting dressed, I heard her come in through the door, right? And she was talking to her grandson, And also, while I was making breakfast, her grandson came into the kitchen and I put something in the garbage. And as he's walking away, he goes, "Pete, you're a boy." He calls me Pete. Off of the Mickey Mouse, one of the character in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Pete. So, apparently, like I said, they've been manipulating him, priming him from a young age to engage in targeting me, right? So when you think about it, who is Pete? They try to make it seem like I'm grouchy and I'm mean. Listen, I'm none of those things, all right? I'm none of those things, but I'm also all those things. We have all those abilities. We have the ability to be grouchy, mean, happy, giving, not giving, selfish. Nobody walks around being mean all the time. And you shouldn't. Nobody walks around being selfish a lot of people walk around being selfish, right? And they can be selfish all the time, right? But nobody walks around being grumpy all the time. You know what I'm saying? But that is what they do. So when she came in, again, she saw her grandson because of what he said to me. I said, "What'd you say, Chase?" But I guess he didn't hear me. But yeah, This is what they do. So when you see the New York Predator Department there, again, because it's a false narrative they love to engage in, you know. And I keep telling people, you know, don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. All right? Watch what they do. You know, if you're constantly listening to what they say, you're not watching their actions, then you're a fool. You know, and again, that's what most believers are. Most believers are foolish because they lack critical thinking. You know, they believe things that people say. They believe the politicians. And even though the politicians that they believe when they get into political office, they don't do what they say they're going to do. And they still end up voting for them again. Right? So there you go. We know politicians can make the changes that's needed because we see them do it with corporations. We see them give corporations big tax breaks. These are Democrats as well as Republicans. Right? We see that they pass Asian hate crime bill, anti-Semitic crime bill, hate crime bill. Right? We see that they can pass all these anti-crime bill against for every other group except for black people. Right? And black people are the number one group of people in America who are constantly under attack. All right? So just to let you know, black people are the only group of people in America that are constantly under attack, and yet Congress does nothing. Congress does nothing. And yet we still continue to think that, you know, this nation cares about its black citizens and black people living within its borders. They don't. Well, I'll vote Democrat. Okay. But what have the Democrats truly done for black people? What have white liberals truly done for black people? All right, when Obama was in office, the Democrats had every branch of the government, including the Supreme Court. And what did they do? When Republicans have control every branch of the government, as well as the courts, you see what they do. Go ahead, man. Okay, go.
When you take the 35 stores and I buy no stove, then it's about that.
I'm only going one time.